Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to tell you what happens in your body when you take apple cider vinegar before going to bed. A lot of people want to know more about this and whether it really has benefits for your body. I'm going to tell you all the scientifically proven benefits that can help you with digestion, metabolism, hormones, and even neurological health. And I'll tell you the correct way to take apple cider vinegar. Some people think you'll only get benefits if you take it on an empty stomach in the morning or close to lunchtime, but that's not really the case. When you take it at night, there are specific benefits, and I'm going to explain them to you here. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask if you already have the habit of taking apple cider vinegar or adding it to your daily routine. Some people don't drink it with water and all that, but they put it on their salad and use it as a dressing. Is it a habit for you? Is this the vinegar you use the most? Which vinegar do you use the most? I'd love to see your comment. Remember that I have several videos here on the channel talking about the benefits, risks, and precautions when consuming apple cider vinegar, because we do need to be a bit careful, and I'll also leave those videos linked in the description if you want to learn more about it. Apple cider vinegar is basically a vinegar made from the fermentation of apple juice. So it contains a very interesting component, which is acetic acid, and that brings us several benefits. It also has polyphenols and antioxidants. It contains minerals such as potassium. It has prebiotic substances and enzymes that are very beneficial for improving our digestion. So it ends up being a higher quality type of vinegar for us to use. And preferably, if you can use the organic kind, it will be better for you because it will be an apple cider vinegar with more benefits and higher quality. This acetic acid in apple cider vinegar brings some specific benefits that other vinegars don't necessarily provide. So what it really helps with is improving the rate of gastric emptying. In other words, nighttime digestion becomes easier because it helps the stomach process food better at dinner time. This provides better glycemic control, which is always good at night. We want our blood sugar levels to stay stable, right? Not to spike too high or drop too low during the night. So, since it slows down gastric emptying, it makes digestion slower and reduces blood sugar spikes, which ends up being really good for you. This also helps you not feel so hungry at night because some people say, oh, I get really hungry after dinner. It's really tough. I feel like snacking. Apple cider vinegar can help you with that. And since it improves carbohydrate metabolism, it can help improve your insulin sensitivity when you wake up. Many people have what we call, especially diabetics, the dawn phenomenon in the morning because of the cortisol spike we get, right? So when we consume apple cider vinegar at night, it can have a positive residual effect in the morning, which ends up being really interesting. So, several scientific studies have already confirmed the benefits of apple cider vinegar, and some specifically for consuming it at night. So there was a study that found it can reduce postprandial glycemic response by up to 34%, that is, after a meal. It can provide better control of blood sugar levels by up to 34% compared to people who do not consume apple cider vinegar with that meal. It can improve insulin sensitivity in people who already have insulin resistance. There's a video on the channel explaining more about insulin resistance. If you want to know more, I'll leave it down here for you. And it can even, look at this, reduce glycated hemoglobin, which is a marker of blood sugar control level when used over prolonged periods. So it really can have a very beneficial impact on blood sugar control. These effects are closely related to the issue of acetic acid, which I mentioned is present in apple cider vinegar and which partially inhibits pancreatic amylase, thus slowing down the absorption of simple carbohydrates. I have to make a point here. There's no use thinking that apple cider vinegar is going to fix your life or save your world if you don't eat a balanced diet and exercise. So there's no point in wanting to take apple cider vinegar if you just had a huge lasagna for dinner, a giant pizza, or a big plate of pasta with white sauce, you know? You have to do your part too. You have to help the vinegar help you. If you want help controlling your blood sugar, remember that I have a video talking about the diabetic meal plan, the best diet. And there's also some really cool material I put together with lots of meal plans, recipes, and tips. I'll leave the link down below in the description if you want to know more about it. Another beneficial effect is that apple cider vinegar can help activate metabolism, especially, this is interesting, right? For those who want to lose weight and burn fat, because vinegar can activate an enzyme called AMPK, which acts as a kind of metabolic sensor for us. So it increases fat burning as an energy source, prioritizes that we burn more fat, reduces fat synthesis by our liver, and once again improves insulin sensitivity, which really helps metabolism, right, in terms of weight loss and fat burning, so it ends up being even more interesting. In addition, it can act on GLP-1, which is closely related to satiety, as I mentioned to you, right? It helps you not to snack so much at night, decreases gastric emptying, which also helps you feel fuller for longer, and once again, it regulates blood sugar levels. So, in several different ways, apple cider vinegar has this very interesting impact when consumed at night. Apple cider vinegar also has a mild prebiotic effect, and if it's that good quality, non-industrialized apple cider vinegar, not industrialized in the sense that it's not that pasteurized apple cider vinegar, but the more traditional organic kind, it can even have a probiotic effect in some cases. This ends up being even more interesting for gut health. And we already know about this gut-brain axis. We know that when we reduce inflammation in the gut and improve gut health, we produce more neurotransmitters, like endorphins and serotonin, which are produced in the gut and then carried by the bloodstream to the brain. I have a video explaining why our gut is considered our second brain and why gut health is so closely related to mental health. I'll leave that video down below in the description. So, if you're interested and want to know how much apple cider vinegar to take and what time is best for you, this way, you won't end up taking too much before bed and waking up at night to go to the bathroom. Ideally, you should have 1 to 2 teaspoons in up to 1 full cup of water right after dinner. Because ideally, you shouldn't take apple cider vinegar on an empty stomach. That is, you shouldn't have dinner and then take the vinegar hours later, right before going to bed. So, right after dinner, you can already take 1 to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in a large glass of water. It's really not much. And then remember to also leave some time between your dinner and when you go to bed, right? Ideally, you should wait 2 to 3 hours before going to sleep so your body can complete its metabolism. Most importantly, so you can urinate plenty before going to bed, so you don't have to wake up at night to pee, which ends up disrupting your sleep and can have a negative effect on your health. Remember, if you already have any issues related to reflux, gastritis, or if you have any specific health condition, or if you're unsure whether you should take vinegar, or if you take any specific medication, always talk to your doctor or nutritionist before taking it to determine the right dose and timing. Remember that this video is for informational purposes only. I want to know if you take vinegar, because there's also the option of adding it to your dinner, like in a salad along with your dinner, right? And you'll get the same benefits as long as it's in the same amount I mentioned, 1 or 2 teaspoons. That can be an option too. Why not, right? You don't necessarily have to take it with water, and that's a very important point. Tell me if you're used to consuming vinegar, which type you use, how much you consume, what time you take it, and what benefits you've noticed. I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video because that helps me, and share it with someone who will enjoy it or who needs it. Let's work together to spread this chain of good. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.